Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about 5 trademark myths. These happen so frequently. I get clients that are confused and they think that, and I understand it. I get it. Google has things, people have opinions. These happen, but they don't have to, and you don't need to perpetuate them. So I wanted to reach out and talk to you about these 5 myths that seem to be very common among trademarks and law in general. If you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help you create the business of your dreams. So welcome. I do go live Monday through Friday, except for holidays at 11 a.m. So feel free to stop in and join me and get your legal questions answered about your business. I look forward to helping you. And don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon so that you'll be notified when I go live. For whatever reason, YouTube just does that. Don't know why. It is just what it is. I'm excited for today because trademarks are something that a lot of people find interesting and they want to know more about them, but they don't. Again, there's a lot of misinformation about what happens in regards to a trademark. So, number one of the big myths is the trademark process is quick. That could not be the farthest thing from the truth. It is a minimum of 3 months between when you file your application until when the trademark review attorney actually gets assigned. That doesn't mean you get any type of review at that point. That just means that that's what happens. They get assigned after 3 months. That's how busy they are. It can take anywhere between another 3 months before they actually render any type of decision, any type of questions they have, anything. So it can be a while. I mean, we're talking like 6 months. I had a trademark that took a year just because of the stuff that we kept submitting and it took longer and they kept on asking, well, this isn't right. And so we had to fix it. And so it is not a short process. So if you're thinking about doing a trademark, again, it comes back to now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Now is your best time to do a trademark because at the end of the day, you will be so much happier you did. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is that another myth is that trademark, domain registration, and incorporating are the same thing, or that they afford the same protections. They don't. A trademark gives you federal brand protection. Simple. Domain registration can show something, but it's not the same. So someone could register your trademark, you have the domain name, and then you could be sued to get that domain name because you didn't get the trademark. And the same thing goes for incorporating. An incorporation or an LLC is at the state level, not federal level. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're understanding, and it's not about protecting your brand, it's just registered at the state level. So what could happen, again, could, not necessarily will, but could, and this is unfortunate because it does happen, if you don't do your trademark as well as those other things, someone could come along and register your trademark and then sue you for infringement. Yeah, it's bad. Those are also called trademark trolls, and they've been working on cracking down on them, but they still exist. So you want to be very diligent. Like when you're starting a business, you should factor in the cost of a trademark into starting your business, no matter how big or small you want to get. Because here's the thing, and this is probably a big one, is you can't go back in time. It's not possible. So when you might think you're ready to file a trademark, it might be too late. Somebody might have already beat you to it. And it only gets more expensive from there. So the other thing is, the next myth is your business is not big enough. And the truth is, it's never small enough. Like in other words, it doesn't matter if you just started or again, it comes back to getting started today, not next week, not next year, today, because you'll wish no matter how big you had, that's also a part of what's intellectual property is an asset of the company and can help you because maybe, and here's a hypothetical, maybe you don't want to build it past your local mom and pop business, but maybe someday when you decide to sell it because you don't have family to pass it on to, or they don't want to take it, or you're just considering retiring, having that intellectual property will increase the value of your business because you're protecting your brand, not just your name. Okay, brand versus name. The next myth that happens quite frequently, or that people believe, is that it's easy. Trademark registration can be fairly nuanced, fairly complicated, because the expectations of the USPTO are very specific. And so you need to have someone that's done it before and that knows what they're doing and will take the time to do it right, because if you do it wrong and you get a trademark rejected, then you have to start the process all over again because you didn't do it right the first time. And that can be very expensive. And it just, from a sheer time factor, it's expensive, not just money, because it's a sunk cost. You can't get that back. But the idea is that if not only can you not get the cost of it back, the financial cost, but you can't get the time cost of it back if you do it incorrectly and get it denied, or you don't follow up, or there's lots of things that can happen. So don't believe that it's easy just because it looks or could be simple. You want to hire an attorney to do this. This comes back to my mantra of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The cost of filing for the trademark or having an attorney do it right is well worth the peace of mind to get it done right, comparatively to what it would be if you did it yourself, had to redo it, and then still had to hire an attorney to fix it for you. And that could be infinitely more expensive long term. The last myth is that you can't afford it. And this kind of ties into the penny wise and pound foolish idea that spending $2,000 or whatever the price of filing for a trademark is such a small amount compared to how much it would be to fight someone that is trademark troll, right? The cost for fighting a trademark infringement case can easily reach the hundreds of thousands of dollars and could potentially put you out of business. So you really, really want to have the foresight to recognize that spending a little bit of money in the beginning of your business, that yes, I know it's not perfect, you might be on a shoestring budget, then I understand it. I really do. But this is one of those areas, it's kind of like you need to plan for these things. You need to put that in your budget in order to protect yourself from it, because the last thing you want to do is pinch your pennies and end up in a $100,000 legal battle because you chose to pinch pennies at the beginning. So again, you can't go back in time. You can't fix these things. You can't make it so that it didn't happen if you could have. So it's always, always better to be proactive in your approach to your business and your trademarks, that type of thing, so that you're going to save money in the long run. You really, really are. So keep that in mind, is that everything that I talk about, it's about saving you money and making good business as well as legal decisions in your business. Again, if you're new here and haven't subscribed, don't forget to, and hit the bell icon to make sure that you're notified when we go live. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to hearing from you. We'll talk to you later.